First, I'd like to say thanks for Sistek for inviting RTX here to Chile. It's the first time I'm here, and so far I'm very impressed. I'll try to go a little bit through our company, what we are doing, so you have a better understanding which kind of company we are and which kind of products we are doing, and the partnership we have done with Denmark and with Sistek. So our company was founded in 1993. We are listed on the Copenhagen Stock Exchange. We have done more than 700 wireless projects, and when we are saying 700, we are only counting the really big projects. We have an experience per engineer, it's more than 10 years. So we have, let's say, the older guys in the business, so we are making more advanced electronics. Our headquarters is in Denmark, and we also have a place in Hong Kong, where I'm based. And we have a sales office in the US. We are right now about 170 employees in total. So we have two divisions. Here is marked like 3. We have an engineering service. That means that if you come like a company and you just want the R&D, but you want to make your own production for yourself, then you can go into engineering service, buy the design, make your own production. Then we have enterprise and VoIP, which I'm in charge of. Here we only work with customers that want to have a development and buy the finished products. And then we have a small division under engineering service called test systems. We are doing a lot of test systems for Microsoft and other customers. So our advantage is also we know how to develop, we also know how to produce, but we also know how to test equipment, so you have a really high quality in the market. That means you have a low return, and because all return is our money out of our pocket. So RTX is known like a decked house. Actually, we were one of the first companies in the world doing the deck business, but actually we are doing much more than decks. So we are doing Wi-Fi, we have done some GSM, we have done a lot of Bluetooth. When Bluetooth came out in the beginning, with Motorola and with GN and so on, a lot of the designs actually came from RTX. We are also doing Zigbee and low pan. In RTX, it's really a house that you can go in and you can shop what you want. So we have project management with high degrees. We only have project management that is educated in it. We have embedded software development. We have RF antenna design. Baseband, acoustic, we are very famous for acoustic. We have the labs to do all the acoustics, because when you do, example, a headset, then you need to put a lot of wind tunnels and so on, so you make sure that you have a good quality in your headset, even there's a lot of wind or noise outside. We also do mechanical ID design, test scripts for the test systems, and total production setup. A little bit about RTX is that one of our advantages is that we don't need to go to an external lab. Everything we have in-house, and that means that if we are running a development, we want to make prototypes, we don't need to go to a factory to make these prototypes. We actually have the machines in-house. That means we can do prototypes really fast, and that will shorten the development process. The acoustic lab, I just explained to you. EMC lab, we also have in-house. And especially our RF, we have our own RF chamber. So when we are doing an antenna in a deck phone, for many companies it's just an antenna and you just place it. But if you make it correctly and you place it in the right place, you tune your antenna, your range will be much better than a normal deck phone. And this is some of the things we are very known for in RTX. That we are going the extra mile. That you will probably also see in our products when Denmark and Sistek is supplying this to you. Then you'll probably be impressed by the range and the quality of the sound and so on in the products. You will definitely see a difference from a standard manufacturer. So what we have done, because we are based in Denmark, and you probably all know in Denmark it's Europe, and the salary is extremely high in Europe. I cannot hide this. So to make products that have a good price, we have done it So we have the deep layer software that is made in Denmark. This is really something Asia cannot do. Sorry, Yilin. But so far Asia cannot do it. And I'm based in Hong Kong, I've been there for 7 years. In Hong Kong we have all mechanical, we have hardware, basically all the things except the software. That means we can have a lower cost on this part, and then we're producing inside China. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the best from the different parts of the world, combine it into one product, so we have the best quality of the product for the best price. In RTX, this is a little bit, you can see it down. Basically, you can go and shop how we want. Many companies, they come with an idea. We make the PRS, product requirement specification, and then you can definitely go in and you can see, if you only want to buy the RF part, or you want to buy a little bit about the test systems or something, then you can go in and you can shop like you want. Just like go to a bakery, you order what you want, you get it. Most products, or most customers, they actually come with an idea. We put a whole team, we help them to see what is really the weakness of their idea. Because we are not interested to make R&D money. That means make a product just for a product. If we can see the customer probably will fail with this product, then we'll tell the customer. We'll try to guide the customer in the right direction, so we're sure that they will have a product that can sell in the market. Because if it's not a win-win situation, we will both lose in the end. This is some of our customers that we're working for today. If you see the Microsoft, it's one of our really big customers. Sennheiser, you probably know a lot of the headsets. NEC, we are delivering the whole enterprise phones for NEC. Gigaset, we have a lot of products. Samsung, Cat IQ, I don't know if you have heard it here, but Deutsche Telekom was the first one that launched a Cat IQ handset in Europe. That is supplied by Samsung, and actually RTX is behind Samsung doing all this. We also very proud, I can see it's going out here, but the reason why we're here is that we have made the partnership with Denmark, and they have the exclusivity right here for Chile. And so far, I have to say, I talked to Denmark yesterday, and the price structure and the features they have is probably the best I've ever seen. And I'm actually working with NEC, Avaya, all the big ones, Alcatel, with the price structure that Denmark can give and provide is definitely the most strong I've seen so far. Since we are a development house and we are also a product house, we think it's very important that we also involve RTX in making the standards for the different kind of technologies. So we are investing, and we are full members of something like Wi-Fi Alliance. The DEC forum, we are sitting in the board of the DEC forum. We also have the ETSI and the Bluetooth, and the latest one is SMIC. SMIC is quite interesting because in the smart metering they are actually using a lot of DECs. So we are supporting these different kind of groups, and we can also influence, and we know which kind of rules is coming, which kind of demands will pop up. A little bit about the products examples. If you look first at the fast food restaurants, the one you see here, if you've been to McDonald's, basically nowhere around the whole world, you'll see they're walking around with a communication system when they're taking an order, and this is actually made by RTX. The model down under is called GM in Denmark. You've probably seen this headset, very famous headset around the world. This is an example where RTX go in. We are never making our own products. We are an ODM supplier. If you look on the other side, you can see the Xbox from Microsoft. Actually, RTX made the communication between the Xbox and the game remote control. This was years back, but it was very special because we used DECT. We took out the power amplifier inside the DECT because the battery lifetime is so important. So this is one of the products we have done inside the gaming area. Then we do a lot of microphones, high-end microphones for different kind of companies. And we are also supplying a lot for Philips Healthcare where there are very special demands. So in RTX you can shop what you want, different kind of products. We have the technologies, and we also have the know-how behind. A little bit about organization. As you can see here, is very flat. I have my CEO based in Denmark, it's Jesper, and the CFO also based in Denmark. And then I'm in charge of the enterprise and web, and have one guy, Jens Christian, who's in charge of the engineering service. So we are basically 4 people that can decide, and that means if we need a fast decision, it's just a phone call. 10 minutes ago, my CEO called me and said, "What do you think about this? We took a decision, we are moving on." No matter where we are in the world, we can make a really fast decision, and our customer really need this. So we are not slowing down the speed for them. This is where we are based. So we have San Jose in US, we have sales office. Basically for the US customers there, they like to have a local office. Then we have the headquarters in Denmark, and we have the office in Hong Kong. Now I'll go into a little bit more about the products, the kind of products we have done. This is our current enterprise range, where you can see it from Avaya or NEC. They have taken the whole range and supporting this. This range is actually will be replaced next year by this range. This is the first time in the history that enterprise will see that we are making a DECT and a Wi-Fi in the same handset. We will also move it so we'll have an entry handset, because a lot of customers, the price is very important. So we'll have a basic feature, and then we will have a mid-end where we go in Cat IQ. You probably know Cat IQ is the new standard inside DECT, where you have a better audio performance. You will also have the option to buy a Wi-Fi inside it for data. And then you will make a high-end touch screen, a little bit like the Apple, put into the enterprise market where you need to have a lifetime of 5 years. And then we'll make an IP65 for the heavy use. And then we have the messenger. I'll do a little bit fast, but the entry handset, the basic things here is that we are, even as a, what can we say, cheap handset, it's very important that the user will have a good experience. To get a good experience, definitely you need to have the user interface, needs to be really good, but the audio, everybody knows when they use a phone, and most important is actually you can hear what's the other end is saying to you. So we will have an HD voice into it. We also have software upgrade over the air. That means when you install a system for RTX, if you have a new feature, or you find, let's say, a bug, something that's not working so good, you like to have it corrected, then we actually can push a button, we can download the software to the handset over the air. That means when you're talking in the phone, this download of software will automatically stop. The user will never see it. And then we just download a new software in the handset, and then you can bring out new features for free to your customers. This one have created, let's say, a lot of noise in the market. The biggest enterprise partners in the world have taken it, and you'll probably soon see by end of this year, the really big brands will come out with this handset in a different design. So what we do here is we are actually taking a Cortex 800 MHz processor, put into a DECT handset. We're building on the Android platform, and we're putting in Wi-Fi for data, and you have the DECT for the voice. But when you do an Android, and you put a so powerful processor inside, then it's really good for the vertical market. That means that if you're, let's say you're selling for, it could be a hospital or something like this, they need a special function, a special app. You can have another company, or do it yourself, make a small app, download it in the handset, and sell it to this hospital. Then you suddenly will be very unique in the market, that you have something nobody else can offer. Because if you only have the same what other people are offering, it's always about price. This is where we're trying to help our customers to make them very special, to have a good business. And since we have the Apple iPhone, that's very popular, there's a big demand to have a touch, to have a very flat design. We are also coming out with the high-end touch, with Wi-Fi and DECT inside. Then we also HX. HX, some of you probably know what HX is, but it's a very high level that you can use on oil rigs and so on, special safety demands. We'll come out with a IP65 with a lifetime. Basically all the products I showed you here have a lifetime about 5 years. And this is a ruggedized handset. You'll have a man down function. That means if you're falling down, and it could be on an oil rig. If you fall down, then there needs to be an alarm inside the phone that's triggered that something happened with this guy. This you also have in the current model. I can show you out behind. But this is a very key feature for our enterprise partners, to have some of these special features to offer that nobody else have in the market. And this is giving a lot of security, and our customer can charge a much higher price. So this will also come out. All these models I've showed you now will be ready by end of this year. By next month, the second world's biggest enterprise supplier will actually launch one of the handsets. And in 2 months, the third biggest will launch. This is one of our new products that we have made the deal with Denmark and Sistek. It's created a lot of noise in the market because if you look at the handover system, there was few companies in the world actually offering this system for a huge price. They were earning a lot of money. And I was sitting with my team and saying, well, we are supplying base stations for enterprise. We can do the handover. We can do better quality. We can do better audio. Why don't we make a product? So we took a decision in RTX to make this product. It's taken us 2 years. It's probably one of the most advanced products in the market right now. And we can offer it for a much, much better price than any of our competitors. If you look at our competitors, there's no secret about it. You have Ascom in Sweden. You have Astra in Canada. But the price is totally different. And our features is much, much higher. I'll try to spend a little bit of time on this product. So it's a multi-cell DAC system. We have wideband audio, we have G729. You can buy a small codec module to put into the base station, so you have compression. You have auto provision, and it's extremely simple to install. And then on top of this, we also have repeater support. Throughout the last 10 years, we have produced all the Siemens repeaters you have seen. It's actually coming from us. And basically, I can say 99% of all repeaters is made of RTX. This is really important cost-wise to have a repeater, because if you have an alley and you need to have some coverage, just put a repeater instead of a base station. It's much cheaper, and you have the same functionality. So what can this system actually do? This is a system that you can have from 1 to 40 base stations. And you can have up to 200 handsets connected to the system. On one base station, you can have 30 handsets and 10 simultaneous calls. That means if you connect just another base station, it will automatically configure itself, and then suddenly you can have 20 calls and 60 handsets. We have locked in the software that we can have 200 handsets and 40 base stations, because this system is a huge threat for my enterprise players, like Avaya and EC. When they saw I got this system, they got really afraid of losing their business. So for respect to my customer, I have said, okay, maximum 40 base stations, 200 handsets. So it's matching to the SME market. If you look, what is the most growing market today? It's the SME market. This is where the profit and the growth is right now. So it's really good for small offices. Let's say you have 20 employees. Basically, you can take one base station. If they're sitting together, maybe 2, you can give all of them a handset, and you can make 10 simultaneous calls. This is all you need. And then a Denmark PBX in the other end. So you have a really low-cost solutions for a lot of the companies. If you look at the other systems that's on the market, then you need to have a master base. That means you normally have to have a big computer standing. This is the master, and then you have a base station, and blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of money. On this one, we don't need to have a master. If one base station goes down, another base station will automatically take over. So that means no matter what breaks basically in the system, as long as you have internet connection, then the system will work. So basically we made the system, so it's EU, we have 6.0 for the US, we have Latin, Korea and Japan. So it's approved worldwide. It's a 12-slot radio where you can have 10 voice channels on one base station. You also have the compression, as I told you. It's scalable, so you can actually just connect one more base station. It'll automatically configure and it's running. We have the IP security, it's power over internet. We have over-air synchronization. This is something that many companies are struggling with to do. They are doing synchronization over the system back into the network, and it's not working so good. What we have done is that we are doing the synchronization between the base station over there, so it's always accurate. We have the centralized phone book. Yeah, that's basically it. For the handset, we have said, for this handset, we believe the use will be very heavy because you can sell it in so many places, so many configurations, that it's a high demand for the handset to be able to be dropped, to be heavily used, and so on. So we have used a lot of effort into the mechanic. So we don't use the cheapest plastic from China. It is really, it's extremely expensive, but still we managed to have the handset for a really, really good price compared to the market. For this one, you also have the software upgrade over there. We have the wideband speaker mode. It's important that you can just place your handset, use it like a speakerphone. Why buy a Polycom speakerphone if you have a handset? Push a button, it's works just as well. And we also, what we have done here is we have made single SKUs. That means you can order base stations as you want, you can order handset as you want. We don't put them together in one package, because it's very different from which kind of setup you're using. Some places you need a lot of base stations, few handsets. Other places, like normally, you need a few base stations, but a lot of handsets. For the repeater, we also made a brand new repeater now, because since our system have wideband audio, it's also important that we have the repeater to support wideband audio. So this one is actually, Denmark is one of the first who's getting this brand new repeaters. There's a few others in Europe also getting now, but it's mainly just finished and ready to launch for the market. On one system, you can actually connect 120 repeaters. So this is a way to make extra capacity. Instead of having 40 base stations, you can also connect 120 repeaters. This is a new product we also made in RTX. Basically what we have done in RTX the last 2 years, we have really invested heavily and really renewed the whole enterprise, the Skype and the repeater platforms. This is a brand new dual phone that's been launched for the last 3 months. This one is what can I say, standalone Skype phone. Normally you have one that's connecting to the computer and this is how you use it. We have done it another way. Before we had the 3088, it was the first phone in the world that was cordless, standing for itself. This product was 6 years in the market, and now we have made the new one. This new one, you can have 2 separate accounts. That means if you have it in your home, your wife can have her own account, and the husband can have an own account. Sometimes you don't want to share your contacts. We also put HD voice into it, and we really pushed down the price on this one, because we believe if it's a Skype user, the product also needs to be cheaper. Because why do you use Skype? That's normally to save money. Inside this phone, you have a normal PSTN phone and you have a Skype phone. So 2 phones combined into one product for a good price. Basically, this was my small presentation. I know I speak English. Unfortunately, I'm not good at Spanish, but I brought my good guy, Elias, and we are outside, and everybody can come and talk Spanish to him, and then I'll help him if there's any doubt about the products. Thank you very much.